Hello, I'm Amy.
And I'm Yesenia.
And the two paintings we'll be looking at today were done by the same artist, Thomas Cole. These paintings are in a series called The Voyage of Life. This series represents an allegory of the four stages of human life: childhood, youth, manhood, and old age. This series has two sets. The first was done in 1839, and the second set was done in the 1840s. The two pieces we'll be focusing more on today are from the first set, The Voyage of Life, Childhood, and The Voyage of Life, Youth.
But before we get into the paintings, let's get an idea of who Thomas Cole was. Thomas Cole was born in 1801 in northwestern England, but immigrated with his family to the U.S. in 1819. Cole was a primarily self-taught artist who had worked with members of the Philadelphia Academy. He began his artistic career as a wood engraver before he went on to becoming the founder of the popular Hudson River School of Painting. According to explorethomascole.org, and I quote, "In the late 1830s, Cole was intent on advancing the genre of landscape paintings in a way that conveyed universal truths about human existence, religious faith, and the natural world," end quote. And from this arose the Voyage of Life series years later.
In the first painting, The Voyage of Life, Childhood, one of the first things you see when looking at it is a boat coming out of a dark cave, and in that boat there is a baby and an angel. The boat coming out of a dark cave represents birth and life, and it shows the boat starting its voyage down a long river into this beautiful world.
And Cole had the idea of painting the baby and boat coming out of the cave when his daughter was born while painting this series.
The landscape appears to be very quiet, lush, and calm, such as the baby's life right now, where they don't have to worry about anything. If you look closely at the greenery, you can see that the flowers are still growing just as the baby is. So far, this painting shows a lot of beginnings: the beginning of a precious life, the beginning of a beautiful day, and the beginning of a long voyage.
Something else you would need to look closely at to see is the angel holding an hourglass on the front of the boat. In making this painting, Cole had a place for everything. The hourglass he put on the boat represents all the time the baby has. In the boat with the baby is an angel. This angel is the protector. It watches over the baby and steers the boat down the river. In the next painting, you will see the changes from childhood to youth.
Here in the second painting, we will be talking about The Voyage of Life, Youth. You can already see some major changes from the first painting, such as the baby is no longer a baby, but has grown into a young man. The landscape is still very bright, calm, and beautiful, but this is only because he hasn't fully gone off by himself. Up in the clouds, you can see a big, beautiful castle. This represents the dreams that the boy has made now that he is turning into a young man. The castle looks very nice, but is quite some ways away. You can also see in the bottom right corner of the painting that the angel is no longer on the boat with the boy.
The angel is now on land, waving goodbye to the young boy as he steers the boat down the winding river, not knowing what it has in store for him. He must now continue his life without the angel watching and protecting him. Looking at this painting, there are many things that tell you that time has passed. The greenery and trees have grown, the flowers are blooming beautifully, and the sun has moved from the east to right above him. The hourglass on the boat has lost some sand, which indicates the passage of time.
Continuing to the last two pieces of the series, you would see that in The Voyage of Life, Manhood, it is much darker and treacherous, representing the challenges that any one person would face going into adulthood. More time has passed, and the young boy is now a man. His time is coming to an end, and he is praying for guidance from his guardian angel. In the last painting of the series, The Voyage of Life, Old Age, it shows that the hourglass is completely gone and that his time is up. The old man is now about to enter a bright, beautiful world once again. According to the National Gallery of Art, Thomas Cole's, and I quote, "The voyage of life seems intrinsically linked to the Christian doctrine of death and resurrection," end quote.
Thomas had made an agreement with a man named Samuel Ward for his whole series for $5,000, but unfortunately, Ward died before Cole was able to finish. Today, this series is displayed at the Unson-Williams-Proctor Arts Institute in Utica, New York, along with many other artists.